Matt, I saw a completely different defense on Sunday. Any schematic changes, or was it just effort, or was it execution? What was the difference between week one and week two?
Yeah, the defense is always predicated on our principles of the hustle, the intensity, and taking the football away, and then being smart situationally, and that's been the foundation since we've been here. And the players did. I thought the players did a good job of executing the game plan, paying attention to detail, and executing those foundational traits that we have in our defense.
If you don't mind me following up, what did you tell them after the week one game? What seemed to spark that increased effort?
It's really the effort, in terms of being, having quickness, instincts, and striking ability. Is really what you're doing with your eyes a lot of times, how you're setting up, how you're breaking, and it comes down to the attention to detail within the defense. And when you see that, as you've seen in the past, when we play that style, you see a good result. And really from the first week, and we said it last week, is really the attention to detail on your assignments and how to play your assignments, and that's coach and player and coach. And I thought we did a better job week two. It's the first time these guys played together in that week one and with live bullets, and they're getting used to each other in terms of communicating and playing alongside of each other. So I thought they did a nice job, and it's really a tribute to the players and the coaches.
Andrew Walker.
Hey, Coach. Week one, you obviously didn't get the results you wanted, but week two, you totally turn around. Now you're, number one in the league in total defense by a wide margin, up there in picks and sacks. Is this just the prime example when you say can't ride the wave, week to week and just stay steady? And why is it so important to preach that message and to have players buy into that?
Yeah, that's a great message from Coach Frank, and it's a great analogy because you can really picture that, because the wave of results is sometimes you can't ride that wave. You have to look at the film and check the film objectively. And there was corrections in the first week that we had to make, and there's also corrections this week. And also on the same other side, there was a lot of positives that we took from the first week and a lot of positives we took from this week. So you build on those positives and make the correction. And every unit, offense, defense, and special teams is continuing to do that every single week in the NFL because you have to get better. You have to get better at what you're doing fundamentally and your technique, and you have to get better of the execution of those techniques. So that's what we're searching for. We talked to the players today about how we can improve on our techniques, how we can improve with our eyes, so we can play quick and fast, and we can have a good result, play in and play out.
Jim Aiello.
Hey, Matt, I wanted to ask about Julian Blackmon. At all surprised that he was able to impact the game the way he did just so quickly, his first game in the NFL, and what is your trust level with him going forward after kind of what he did this week?
Yeah, Julian's in the process of, getting his, his feet in there and getting himself squared away in terms of how he's playing the game. And Julian is a very mature young man, and he loves football. He's got passion for football, and he's got a high skill level. So we saw those exact traits that we saw when Chris and the scouting staff, selected him, along with with the evaluations of everybody in the building, and we saw that. And that's really a tribute to him, of his maturity, how he stayed in the game in terms of when he was out with Coach Alan Williams. Those two worked hand in hand together to get him to that point. And, as there's going to be, situations like every player that he has to get better at, his eyes, his landmarks, his technique, and he's doing that this week. And we ask each player to get better at two things every week. And in the next 72 hours, they have to get that done by film study and also their work on the practice field.
Can you just real quick to follow up, the interception that he kind of tipped to Kari, it looked like he came from the other side of the field. I mean, I don't even know if he was supposed to be there. In fact, and he just made a great play. Can you talk about that play a little bit?
Yeah, I thought it was a great range play. That's what you're looking for in a deep safety. He anticipates where the ball's going, and then he uses his athletic ability and his judgment in terms of his angle and in terms of his speed. And, timing his jump, he could have timed his jump a little bit better to get to come down with that one, but end up picking it and Kari had a great focus play there where he focused on the catch first and then the return after that. So it was a nice play, good range by him.
Stephen Holder.
Hey, Matt, I wonder if you could just address losing Rock right before kickoff like that. And, you practice all week, you have a game plan, and then, that has a big impact on it. What did you do? Did you play a little more bass? Was it a result of that, or just how did it impact what you did?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a lot of this is all about the setup, so it's about a mental and physical setup. So, going into this year, we had the mantra and the mindset of that, hey, it's going to have to be next man up. You never know what's going to happen on game day because the guy could test positive for COVID. He could have an injury related thing. He could have a sickness, whatever that is. And so we set that up, and we're always talking about, having those guys ready to go. So it wasn't a big shocker to us. We just said, hey, this guy's starting, this guy's going to play. And relative to your second question, in terms of man or base, relative to nickel, they were a big base unit anyway because they function a lot in those personnel groups that would bring us into a base situation. So it was about 70-30 with that last crew. So we were anticipating playing a lot of base anyway.
George Bremer.
One of the things that seems to have been consistent in both the first two games is the pass rush. What have you seen from the guys up front? I think you've got 7 sacks and a lot of pressure as well.
Yeah, the coaches are doing a good job of setting that up, in terms of getting the one-on-ones that we want, in terms of the matchups we're looking for. And then it's really about the individual player winning that one-on-one. And they're doing a good job of that, either affecting the quarterback, hitting the quarterback, or getting him off the spot. And we've certainly done that the first couple of weeks. And there's room for improvement. When you watch the tape and look at it, and you keep looking at it, there's other opportunities that are out there that we have to do a better job of we call it 4=1. So they have to rush as one unit, and all 4 guys have to be playing off each other in terms of if there's a game or if it's just straight rush, they have to understand it's 4=1.
Kevin Bowen.
Hey, Matt, what will you guys miss most about not having Malik?
Yeah, we feel Malik has done an outstanding job. The last couple of training camps, his work patterns the last couple of years. So really the example of what he's set the last couple of years in terms of his work patterns. His work patterns have been really good. He's always had a positive attitude. He's always worked really well the last couple of years here with us. So really that's just his positivity and his work patterns and his example that he set. It's too bad for that to happen. It's one of those freak injuries, but Malik's best football is ahead of him.
OB.
Hey, Coach, I know you're usually strictly business and focused on the job at hand, but when you're watching film, do you allow yourself a little chuckle or a smile when you see DeForest lift a 300-pound some-odd guy off his feet and throw him aside with one arm?
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. We watched that today as a group, and the guys got the DBs probably the first time they've seen that, and they were excited to see a guy actually do that. It's a rare occasion you see a guy that can with one arm do that. So he's a special athlete, a special guy. So we're excited for him for his game that he had, and then excited for that particular play for him.
Quick follow, did they double him less than what he got doubled at Jacksonville, or was it about the same?
We thought his one-on-one looks were about the same. They were real close. He won a couple more of those, and that's what we expect from really all of our defensive linemen to win those one-on-ones.